What's up, guys? On this week's show,
there's magic in the air.
We are family.
And chicks dig the car?
All that and more in this episode
of One Giant Leap for Geeks.
That's one small step for man, one giant leap for
Geeks. Welcome to another episode of OGLFG, where we talk about movies, video games, and all things in geek culture. I'm your host, Mike C. Squared, and with me is my co-host, DJ Melly Mel.
Hey!
Before we get started, I want to let you know, if you enjoy the show, tell some friends about us. Share us on your social media, whatever you choose to do. Just know that you're helping us let others know about the best damn podcast they probably never heard of. Now, if you want to talk to us, the show is on Twitter at Giant Leap, the number 4 Geeks, or you can get a hold of our resident DJ Melly Mel at Froggy Beaver. Mel, what you been doing, girl?
Helping T-Money get his business going.
I saw we got shirts.
We did get shirts. I made them myself. So that's part of what I've been doing. We went to the store and I bought 4 plain green shirts, like electric lime green, because we are doing an event on St. Patrick's Day.
Nice.
So, well, the weekend celebration of.
Sure.
And I was like, okay, I think lime green will look good. And T-Money's like, I don't care, whatever. I can't see the colors anyway. So
is he colorblind?
He is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that for the longest time.
Duh.
Till like last year.
Oh, damn.
It never come up.
How long have you been together?
7 years in April.
Wow.
So,
okay.
yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, how would that come up, though? Like,
I mean, I've asked him color things, and he just kind of smirks it off, and he's like, yep, looks great.
Yeah.
That's the extent of, oh, all right, whatever. But, yep, I bought lime green shirts, and I painted with my best attempt his logo on the front of the shirt. So it has got, like, a swamp and a tree with, like, the weeping willow tree, and then it's got a hand coming up out of the water holding a platter, and then the platter has the name of his business, T-Bud's Cajun Cuisine. And so I like them. I think they look really cool. Anybody who knows me has seen them on Facebook. I'm sure you have seen them. So, yeah, I'm pretty excited about looking. I'll fly my green hand-painted shirt this weekend to help T-Money and hopefully kick this business off. So
nice.
This week was pretty much spent on that. I finished up wedding flowers, but that didn't take long. Threw some bows on it, call it good. They look really, really fly too. Yeah. So I'm like excited about those. And then yeah, just getting the business. If you actually want to come out this weekend, we are going to be at the Bay City St. Patrick's Day Parade. So for those of you in the area, you know where Bay City is, or you can find out. T-Money and I are going to have a tent on Center Avenue where all the action's going down. And guys come see us and buy a plate of food from T-Money, and I'll even say hey.
Right, in her patented hat.
Yes.
With every plate, you get one hey.
Be like, hey, I'm a fan of the podcast, and I heard you guys, and that's how I found you. We'll make sure to hook you up with a card so you can follow all the action. If you don't follow T-Money on social media, then you will know how to do that.
Now, do you guys have like a Instagram page?
We do, actually. We have an Instagram and we have a Twitter, and he's also on Facebook. So on Facebook, it is under T-Buds, T-E-E-B-U-D-S. On Instagram and Twitter, you just look up T-Bud's Cajun Cuisine, all one word, and with every, main word capitalized. And that's how you can find him. That's where he posts his menu and stuff on Facebook. So if you follow the Facebook page, then you will get details about menu and dates and times where he's going to be at, where we're going to be at. Once we get the truck up and running, you'll be able to kind of follow us and pin your location and stuff like that. So for right now, he just releases the menu once a week and kind of cooks on either Saturday or Sunday. You don't know unless you follow the Facebook page. So,
okay.
What about you? What have you been doing?
Nothing as exciting as that or productive, but I, today, I guess by the time you hear this, yesterday or potentially later, as of recording this, it is March 10th. I voted today.
I also voted today.
It is very important. If you are of voting age, I would highly suggest. It's too late now if you live in any of the states that voted today, but there are still other states that have not voted yet. So, do your civic duty. I don't care who you support. Go out and, support them. It's very important.
Now we need to let them know that March 10th is the, it's Super Tuesday, right?
That was last week.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, there are a cluster of states,
basically
but
what you're
the majority
doing
of them at once was last week.
Right. Basically what you're doing is you're voting to put your candidate on the ballot for presidency. This is not the presidential election yet.
No. Do people...
You'd be surprised.
Oh my god. Well, I guess if you don't follow any of this stuff, then yeah. So, but yeah, no. I mean, I don't want to make a whole politics thing.
No, not at all.
But I did want to, just hey, if you haven't, or if yours is coming up and you have the opportunity to, you should go vote. Your voice should be heard, and your interests should be represented if you choose to do that.
Right.
That being said, though, I also have been. I had to, and anybody who follows the Twitch channel, my bad. I dropped the ball this week. Between work and I was feeling a little under the weather for a bit. I'm not sick, but there was a couple days where I wasn't feeling too hot. Mm-hmm. I'm okay now, though. But I dropped the ball, and I didn't make a schedule for this week. Obviously, it's it'll be Wednesday by the time you guys hear this, so we'll be halfway through the week by that point. Clearly, we're going to be taking a hiatus this week, but next week I will be back. It's just that
You mean you got caught up in adulting this week?
Yeah,
oh my god!
No, I didn't. I got a new person at work.
Stop the press.
Yeah, it's a whole thing and everything else. So yeah, I just couldn't find time to do it, and yeah. So sorry, my bad, but I will be back to streaming next week. But
I think we're unintentionally trying to see how many Batman puns or one-liners from Batman we can throw in this episode.
What was the other one?
Well, when you said chicks dig the car.
Oh, yeah. What was... Did I do another one since then?
No, I just did one. Stop the press.
Oh, yeah. No.
It's from 89.
Yeah.
Slipping in that old age.
I know. Damn. Well, yeah, no, that's been pretty much my week is I've been adulting, and I didn't really get all the things that I wanted to do this week done, but please forgive me. I will be back. I promise. But other than that, we're going to move on.
Okay, sounds good.
Good job, Mal. You're out here making moves and getting money. Do humans still say that? I don't care anymore.
Hello, neighbor, and welcome to another exciting edition of Mostly Movie News. I'm your mostly movie news host, mostly movie news Mike.
Getting better.
Yeah, totally.
You're getting there.
Yeah, greasing them wheels. But for our first story for this week, we have some reports that Mr. Swear to Me himself will be joining the MCU. Christian Bale is reportedly going to be the villain in Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm getting this from Superhero Hype. Earlier this year, word broke that former big screen Batman Christian Bale was in negotiations for a role in Thor: Love and Thunder. However, Bale's deal may now be confirmed. Via Collider, Tessa Thompson said that Bale will portray the villain of the sequel. I quote, "I've read the Love and Thunder script, and I can't tell you much," said Thompson during an interview with Entertainment Tonight. Taika Waititi is writing and directing. Christian Bale is going to play our villain, which is going to be fantastic. It's going to be good. That would seem to rule Bale out as fan favorite allies like Beta Ray Bill or Baldur the Brave, but it also doesn't narrow down which Thor villain that Bale will portray. So, I guess I should ask, what are your feelings about Christian Bale coming over to the MCU? Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, now I know that you don't like his Batman. I know that you
don't like anything he's in.
Damn, okay. Really?
Really, there is not a movie that I like that he is in.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Even American Psycho, as good of a movie
Really?
as it was, if they would have taken him out and put somebody else in, I would love that movie.
Not even
No.
Not even Prestige with him and Hugh Jackman
Nope.
and Michael Caine?
Nope.
Damn, I really like that movie too.
Hugh Jackman could not outshine him. The only thing that I'm willing to... Well, not that I'm willing to.
Okay.
The only thing that looks like I might enjoy is Ford versus Ferrari.
I know that one. I still want
And
to see. Yeah.
I'm putting all of my distaste for him aside, and I'm pretty sure that I will like that one despite him being in it. But I do like cars. I do like history.
Sure.
And of course, the Shelby is my absolute favorite. So the Shelby being my favorite trumps Christian Bale.
Okay. Fair enough. I like Christian Bale as an actor. He's been in some stinkers, like I'm Looking at You, Terminator Salvation, but then
It makes me gag.
You know, he's been in some good ones. Like I said, I really enjoy him in The Prestige. Equilibrium's a pretty good little sci-fi action movie. If you ever get a chance to check that one out, it's an older one now, but it was pretty all right.
Sad that we have to preface. Oh yeah, this is an older movie, but
Yeah, true. But I mean, you know, I have been wanting to see him cross over into the MCU, but I didn't want them to make him like a mainstay because, you know, it's going to be hard for me to not see him as Batman still.
right.
But as a one-off villain, sure. I'm just interested to see what Taika Waititi is going to do as far as like directing him wise. Like, is he going to? Because I mean, you know, Ragnarok was a pretty comedic movie, you know. So is he going to have Bale be more of like a jokey kind of villain, or is he going to be like, you know, super serious, extreme, you know, villain? I don't know. We'll see. Because Hela, she kind of was a little bit of both. She kind of had some humor and some malice and menace to her. A little bit of yin and yang, I guess. I know. You hate Bale to his core, but
I do.
I'm willing to give it a shot.
Him and Will Ferrell, they're in the same boat.
Oh damn, yeah. Well, yeah, I'll co-sign the Will Ferrell thing. But okay, next story. So it seems like every week now it's just going to be the Batman movie update, because even though this doesn't come out until 2021, I feel like every week now they're just rolling out something else from the Batman, because
do you think that they're going to try to push the date up?
Like have it come out earlier?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. Why?
I mean,
because if they can get the hype going for it now and keep it rolling for the next year, I mean, shit.
That's what I mean. They keep releasing, like, we got a set photo, and then we got the bat suit, and then we got, we had the cast list, and we have an ever-growing cast list. So I think like they're gonna run out of flashy things to throw at us by Christmas or something. By January, they're going to run out of stuff and be like, oh, well, let's just push the movie.
I think by this fall, we'll be getting our first trailer.
I'm sure. That's what I mean. They're going to push everything now and through the summer. And then by like Christmas, January area, they're going to be like, oh, shit, we don't have anything else to flash for them. And they're losing interest. Give them the movie. And I'm really worried about that. Like, I'm afraid that we're going to get a premature Batman.
This movie, this particular incarnation of Batman in particular, I feel like we've been on a big roller coaster ride with, because
you ain't never lying there.
It's been this kind of just back and forth of, the casting Robert Pattinson, or first it was, okay, Matt Reeves is going to direct it, Ben Affleck is Batman. He's going to direct it.
See, we can't even keep straight the information that came first.
He's Batman, but not directing. Then he's out completely. Script being rewrote. New director with Matt Reeves. New Batman with Robert Pattinson. We see the Batsuit for the first time. Then we see the set photos of the Batsuit. Now we have our Batmobile. And we saw the Bat Bike, which now that we see the Batmobile, I'm really like, okay, guys, what are we going for? Because, again, go back to our episode a couple weeks ago when we talked about the set photos of him in the suit on the bike. The Batman costume that they have chosen does not match the bat bike that he is riding, nor does that bike go with this car that he is driving. I'm like, none of these things. It's just like
it's a thrift shop of Batman.
Yeah, right. It's like Batman, like on a budget. Like it's like Goodwill Batman.
Goodwill Batman,
and not just because he looked broke, but because it looks like it's thrown together.
And I like the Goodwill, and typically I like things
No
from the Goodwill.
Yeah,
no, love the Goodwill, but this Goodwill Batman is not my Batman.
So the car itself. Okay, so let's start with the photo from the back. So my thing is I can't quite tell what kind of car it is. Obviously, it's been modified.
Sure.
But it almost looks like it would be like a Mustang or something. I don't know.
Yeah, some kind of hard
muscle car.
Yeah, hard muscle car.
But it looks like, at least, that he is going to have the flamethrower exhaust. Like the OG Batman.
Is that the front or the back?
This is the back.
Okay, so looking at the back of it, it looks like they took the car from 89 Batman and ripped off the front part of it and stuck in this crazy, like, Ozzy Osbourne motor in the middle.
Right. It almost looks like he could go back in time with this shit.
Right.
Like it looks almost like the DeLorean.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
Yeah, and I mean, look, it is what it is. Whatever. My thing is there's too many lights on it.
Yeah,
because like it has the tail lights, but then there's like a little light like in the spoiler area. I guess that would be that.
Or is it in the car?
Maybe. And then it's like lights through the little engine exhaust in the back, and I'm like, it's too. I'm like, I thought the goal was to be like stealthy and hidden and shit, but I'm like, you got like neon lights and some Fast and Furious shit going up on there.
It's screaming, "Look at me! Look at me!"
Yeah. Now again, these nitpicky things, whatever, I get it. It's just the car. It's not going to be important to the movie, but
it is the Batmobile. How is it not important to the movie?
I get it. I get your point. But
I'm just saying.
One of the things that I noticed, I'm like, why do they got him posing next to the car though? Like he's like taking selfies and shit. Because like if you look real close, he's standing in front of the car. And this is the best like full body shot we've gotten of Robert Pattinson in a costume as opposed to like a stunt person. It looks better here, but it still looks cheap as shit.
And then you got all them gauges on the dashboard. Like if you zoom back in, but not focused on the bat suit. Like you can see all the gauges.
It's all lit up and shit. Yeah, it's like it's hellified, like obvious and like in your face. It's very gaudy. And then the next photo we get from the side angle, and like I said, it looks like, I don't know, like a Camaro or a Mustang or like a old Firebird or something. I don't know.
It kind of looks like a Mustang.
Yeah, but
or like in Fast and the Furious Part 2 when they got that orange car and the blue car. It kind of looks like one of them.
Yeah, I mean, like the profile of it from the side, it is very slick and like compact. It's not like super big bulky like the Christopher Nolan and the Zack Snyder Batmobiles. But at the same time,
it looks like they got cardboard over that back wheel though.
Right. But at the same time, it looks like some shit that like Exhibit and the dudes from MTV came and was like, oh yeah, and then we gonna put this in the back and this, that, and the other. Like, and I get it. The whole idea is that this version of Batman doesn't have a Lucius Fox and all that kind of shit, I assume. And we
don't know.
He has put all this together himself. At least what I'm getting from the look and everything else is like he built all this himself. So, I mean, okay, sure, I get it. Whatever. I do like the shot of Batman next to the Batmobile, though. That is kind of cool.
That looks pretty cool. His ears look shorter.
Yeah, his ears look better here than it has in them set photos.
And I like that. I kind of like the cowl where it's got just a little bit around the neck in this picture.
Yeah, like I'm still not feeling the little collar, but it's all right, I guess. I don't know.
Nitpicky.
I still think that Ben Affleck's reveal though with him in his Batmobile was better when he's like standing next to it in black and white and he's all like looking down and shit. Like I feel like that's kind of what Matt Reeves is going for here, but again, I mean, it's fine. I don't love it, but I don't hate it as much as the suit itself. Now, this is the aerial, like, top-down view of, like, the hood and everything else. Yeah. This is the front of the car.
Okay.
So, like, the grill and all that. I mean, you could tell he's, like, reinforced everything and all that, but...
I mean, the front of the car really doesn't look that bad.
No.
The back of the car, once you, like, dim out all them lights, they don't look terrible.
Yeah.
And even the cardboard cutout looking thing over the back wheels... Looking at it from the front, I could get behind this car.
Yeah, from like the top front. Yeah. Down,
like the back angle was a bad angle.
Yeah. Now, in this, with him standing next to the car, again, the suit doesn't look terrible, but maybe, I don't know, maybe because it was in broad daylight when we saw the set photos, and they're going to mainly have him in shadows and with like sepia tone colors.
I don't want that to be a thing, though. Be like, okay, we can get away with having a bad suit because he's going to be in bad coloring.
Bad
it's
like I don't want him like standing in the shadows and you only see like his jaw sticking out, right? Yeah, it's like he has to be able to, you know, be out in, you know, the light, not necessarily the daylight per se.
No, but I mean like city lights and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I really hope that this is not shot as dark as the Christopher Nolan visually. Like, I mean, story-wise, whatever, but visually, I hope that this is not as dark. I don't want to be having to, like, I don't want to have to watch this in the dark.
Yeah, right, to be able to see.
With a thing around my face. Be like, okay, I can't see anything, and then still not be able to see. Because I saw Dark Knight in the theater. No, I saw the first one.
Batman Begins?
Yes. I saw that one in the theater, and it was so dark, I couldn't see anything. And then I saw Dark Knight in the theaters too, and I couldn't see in that one either. I was like, what the hell?
All in all, though, like, I haven't really loved any of the Batmobiles since the 89 Batman, because, I don't know, that one was so iconic that it's hard for me, and plus that's the very first one I had ever saw. Like, I mean, I like the one from the Dark Knight trilogy. It's okay. I do like the Tumbler. I like it better than Ben Affleck's Batmobile for sure. But I still think Keaton's is the best.
I would say I didn't mind Clooney's or Kilmer's Batmobile.
Nah, because that's when they started going into the Adam West shit, when they started putting the wings on the back and shit.
Yeah, I didn't mind those.
And then they had the one, I think it was Clooney's, had the one where it was like lit up and the wheels were lit up with the bat symbol on it and shit. I was like, okay. Yeah, because that was the one where he had the credit card, the back credit. Oh, my fucking God. I was like, man, come on, man. Like,
I want to know why Batman had a credit card and Robin didn't.
Because
by Batman and Robin, they had both been around. Like, Robin had been around for a while.
Sure, but Bruce is the only one with money. He just let him do this vigilante shit with him. He's like, you can't fund this shit, motherfucker. He's like, you a orphan.
Well, damn.
I know. Fuck you. But, I mean, I don't know. Like I mean, the more that comes out, I get excited and then I get trepidatious again. So I'm like, give me something to be like, just definitively like, okay, now I can have hope in this.
Right.
But I'm still wavering. I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. I've aired out my grievances with the suit, but in the actor choice, but I'm still giving it a chance. I'm trying.
Fair enough. I mean, that's all that we really should do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm giving it a fair
shot. We saw
shot.
Sonic, so...
Yeah. Surprise.
Right.
It wasn't the worst thing in the fucking world. All right. And final story. You actually brought this to my attention.
Yes.
Right before we started recording.
There is a secondary, like, late casting. I don't know. There's rumor that Johnny Depp's going to be the Joker.
Yeah.
So, I'm not sure how I feel about that either.
I'll tell you right now how I feel about that shit. Hell no.
Johnny Depp likes to dress up in characters.
Yes, he do.
And he has these weird, crazy costumes in a lot of his movies. Unless you're looking or you know it's him, you don't know it's him.
My thing with him when he gets to doing all his...
I'm worried that he's going to get a Jack Sparrow voice for the Joker.
That's my thing, is that once he start... Especially when him and Tim hook up together.
Yeah.
And when him and Burton get together, they go off on the deep end. Like, I like Johnny Depp as an actor, but when he gets to do his whole Edward Scissorhands thing too much, look.
I would say, honestly,
between
Edward
Jack
Scissorhand
Sparrow-
wasn't the worst one.
No, well, I mean, but he doesn't talk in that, though, either, so it's like...
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, but still, not really. But I'm like, in that, you know, he just kind of had to just be, you know,
Right,
and he didn't really have to do a voice.
Right.
You know what I mean? But between Jack Sparrow... the vampire he played in the
Dark Shadows.
Yeah, Dark Shadows movie.
And then there was
the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland.
the Demon Barber on Fleet Street.
Yep. I'm like,
then there was the Rango.
yeah, he goes like
Or,
so far. Yeah, the lizard chameleon.
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
in that
Rango
movie,
was the lizard one, and then Lone Ranger was the other one.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where he plays Tonto.
That's what I was thinking.
So yeah,
of.
so it's like things like that where I'm just like, if you don't rein him in, he'll just start doing stupid shit. You know, so it's like, I could see him potentially being a good Joker, but he would need a strong, firm director to be like, look, you stay within these parameters and don't go doing this other weird Johnny Depp shit.
Right.
Like, don't be coming up, like, acting drunk like Jack Sparrow or some other weird shit.
Yeah,
no, it's like, hell no. So, I mean,
it's not confirmed.
Right, it's rumor.
It's just rumor.
I could see it, though. Like, I would have probably, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, if I think that Johnny Depp would have made a good Joker, I'd have been like, hell yeah, I'm on board for that shit. I thought Jared Leto was going to make a good Joker, too, and you see what happened.
We were all wrong with that one. It's okay.
I still, to this day, will not call Joaquin Phoenix character the Joker, because that is not the Joker.
No,
he's just
not.
a dude that dresses up like a clown.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, to each their own. Y'all do you.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you on this one. Like, Johnny Depp is a good actor. Do not get me wrong.
Sure.
He has played in serious roles. I don't know if you remember Secret Window or if any of our other audience or if our audience remembers Secret Window. Kind of dating myself here. But that was a good movie. It was suspenseful and crazy, but he wasn't all like Jack Sparrow crazy where he's like can't understand what he's talking about and looks like a dirt ball. And I mean, granted, he was a pirate and he was supposed to, but
yeah, but even
some of the modifications he made are permanent.
Yeah, out of all the pirate characters, they even looked at him like he was weird.
Right.
It was just like, yeah, he's just don't
right.
Like don't indulge him.
Like he has the range to do something as deep and meaningful and psychotically challenged as the Joker. But I'm with you. He would need a very tight director that's like, look, this is what I want, and this is what you're going to give me, or you're going to get off my set.
And don't get me wrong. He is an actor. I want him to be able to express himself creatively as well and work with the director.
But there's a time and a place.
Build the character, yes. But at the same time, I feel like with too much freedom, they will get another Jared Leto performance. Where it's like, okay, like at some point David Ayer should have been like, okay, we're not doing the tattoos, get rid of the grill, calm all that shit down, stop talking like you Ronald Reagan, and get this shit together.
I saw an article about how Margot Robbie had to be Harley and all of the scenes were improvised with him. Like she didn't get to read with him at all.
Yeah.
Like he would specifically say, okay, nobody's reading with me. And then when they'd go to do a scene, it'd be like the first time, and then he'd have to read their line, or they'd have to shoot their lines. They didn't even get to practice it. So
because he wanted to have distance between himself and all the other actors, because I guess in his mind he felt that would help him stay in character more.
Well, he wanted like genuine responses.
Yeah, and reactions
to what
out of them. Yeah, because it's like this is their first time seeing him in full on makeup.
Right.
You know, going through the scene together. So in his mind, their reactions have some authenticity to it, because it's like, yes, they don't know what to expect because they didn't do this beforehand.
I don't know if that was a good casting choice
clearly
or directing choice, though.
Clearly not. Again, I would be fine with Mr. Depp, depending on
a director.
Yeah, but Matt Reeves, I don't know if he could rein him in. Maybe he could surprise me. If he can pull a good performance out of Pattinson and everybody else to make a good Batman movie, I will give him the benefit of the doubt going into the next one if they choose to bring Johnny Depp in as the Joker.
Sure.
I don't think he should be in this one, especially after they just did the Joker movie. Like, you can't turn around and bring him back again. You got at least a movie in between, a buffer.
Right.
But I'd be down for it after we see what happens with the Batman. If this turns out good, then all bets are off, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Do what you want, and I'll be there for it. All right. So that is it for mostly movie news. Goodbye.
Seriously, guys, it's a fucking car. Get over it.
It's that time again for America's #1 show, Dumb Shit of the Week. That's right, Dumb Shit of the Week is the show where DJ Melly Mel finds dumb shit and we talk about it. Want your submission on the show? Find us on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geek, so you can email us at officialoglfg@gmail.com. Now here's your host, DJ Melly Mel.
Thank you. All right. So as most of our listeners probably know, unless they are living under a rock, the coronavirus and the flu have been pretty heavy this year. More so the coronavirus, but the flu just the same. Okay. So are you ready for this? Fox News.
Okay.
We all know
Okay.
their standpoints of things.
Mm-hmm.
FoxNews.com.
Oh.
Meth may fight the flu virus and possibly corona.
Meth. Like methamphetamines. Okay.
METH.
All right, I just want to make sure you weren't like saying math with like a twang. I just want to make sure meth. Okay.
Meth.
All right. I'm listening. I'm intrigued. Okay.
Meth kills brain cells, fuels tooth decay, loads the body with toxins, and weakens the heart, muscles, and immune system. But otherwise, body-wrecking drug may also have flu-fighting properties, according to new research. A group of scientists from the National Research Health Institute in Taiwan set out a study of how methamphetamine interacts with the influenza virus and possible coronavirus in lung cells. Chronic meth abuse makes individuals more susceptible to pathogens such as HIV, but the team wanted to investigate how the drug might reduce users' resistance to the flu virus.
Okay.
I'm baffled that this is even a thing. Like, they list 9 different things that meth is bad for you for. Like, and not just like, oh, you're going to get bloated or lose your hair or stunt your growth, whatever. You could die from meth. And they want to propose this as a flu vaccine and or coronavirus something or another.
You know what?
Please.
I know. I was going to say this. It sounds stupid as fuck, but I could see a scenario if you knew you had corona and you know that a vaccine is still like a year or 2 away, and they tell you like, hey man, you got it bad and you ain't finna make it. I would smoke so much meth. You don't even understand. I would be so skinny and emaciated and sick looking. It wouldn't even make no sense. I would turn into Jesse from Breaking Bad overnight. Like, straight the fuck up. It would be crazy. But it wouldn't be the first time though that they've used like what we would consider drugs as opposed to like, helpful drugs to try and, combat something or other. I mean, hell, what is it? Viagra started off as a blood pressure medicine, so
that's true. It did.
It's like, now granted, people weren't getting high off the shit beforehand, but yeah.
I just think it's crazy.
Or like a weed. Medicinal purposes.
Yeah, but
now meth will help you with a cold,
the flu, and the coronavirus. I think I will take my chances with the coronavirus
it's like,
and
come
the
on,
flu.
Timmy, you got to take your meth today. We don't want you getting so sick no more. We got to go back to school tomorrow.
No matter that you be all drugged out, it's okay. And if you make it, you got to get there on time, dude.
Jeez.
Like, I get that the virus starts out of, nowhere.
Sure.
This coronavirus has spread everywhere in a matter of weeks. I get that. I'm not saying that we need to take it lightly. I'm not saying that.
So have we confirmed that bleach don't work?
No, they said the bleach does.
Oh, okay.
So
but you gotta.
You gotta clean with it and disinfect with it. Oh, not to drink it.
Yeah, I was gonna say on you as a person, because I'm like, if we're entertaining the idea of smoking meth to get rid of, I'm like, have we exhausted all other options? Have you drank Windex yet?
I've heard that if you're supposed to take a bleach bath for staff, so.
Oh, okay. Have you tried?
Not an entire thing full of bleach, like 3 capfuls of bleach for a giant tub of water.
Yeah.
I actually had a doctor tell my mom that.
Oh.
She thought she had staph because she caught it in a nursing home. And they're like, oh, yeah, go take a bleach bath. She's like, excuse me, what? No. Take 3 capfuls of bleach and put it in very hot bath water in a giant tub and take a bath that way. And
I would never thought to do that.
I didn't do that.
She's like, nope. I'm just going to have staph. Fuck the bullshit.
Yeah, no. That wasn't happening.
No, I mean, it's like have we made sure that putting Ajax in your eyes won't get rid of it yet before? I mean, I'm just saying.
I kind of would rather try that
right, because if we've chosen meth as a possibility, I would hope that we have exhausted every other option before we went to this.
Right.
I mean, damn near anything else is better.
Again, I would just rather take my chances with the damn virus.
Yeah. It's like, look, man, give me some orange juice or something,
right.
and some tissue, and I'm just gonna wait it out, man.
Give me some NyQuil, and I'm gonna sleep it off.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Even so let's say it did work.
Okay.
And it got rid of it. What do you do though after that? It's like okay, so how long would you have to be on meth to know for sure? Like, okay, it's completely out of your system. And then what do they do to make you not addicted to that shit? And how do you
make it so you don't die? I don't know. I've never done meth.
Well, scientists, I hope y'all are working on this shit. Figuring this. These are the questions that people are going to ask.
I figured, us in America, we are already highly addicted to opioids, and we have a large methamphetamine problem anyways. Not sure that other countries have that, but I know we do here. And just saying, that's not something that I would really like to promote. And obviously, doctors aren't saying, oh yeah, go out and start up a habit this year. But if you are already a meth user and you feel like you contract corona, I mean, I guess there you go. Up then, but shit. Whatever.
Smoke that shit.
I just don't know what kind of a point we're at.
See, that's why meth heads they always die from meth and nothing else because they're so healthy.
Yeah.
The meth is keeping their immune system so strong.
That's why they survive so long. Because nothing else will kill them.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. If the meth say, I caught him first. Nope.
Have a meth cloud around you.
Protecting you.
Imagine if meth was, essentially the death version.
Yeah, totally.
So you have a person. Yeah. Instead of death, it's meth, and they're like, nope, this one's mine.
Hell yeah, he's got his hood and his sickle and shit. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna take the teeth first, and then the hair. I'm gonna make some sores, and I'm gonna make them all paranoid. Start eating holes in their brain.
Damn. Yep.
But nope. Damn, they ain't gonna catch that flu.
I mean, hey, you know what? If nothing else, I mean, I feel like, though, we should be taking advantage of this since we, know the applications of meth now. We need to just be getting a bunch of these meth heads, round these motherfuckers up, and send them to these places to go quarantine people and shit. It's like, hey, look, think of all the money we're saving on hazmat suits and protective gear and shit. Send all the meth heads in there. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I think not.
Yeah, it's like look, they have a meth force field, okay? They're good.
Yeah, well, I don't know about most of everybody else. I'm pretty skeptical of things that Fox News comes from, if they're throwing something out there, hey, look at us, let's do this. I'm pretty skeptical about it, which is kind of funny because Disney owns Fox, and now Disney owns Fox News, but whatever. Unless they didn't get the news in the merger.
No. Disney owns
just the movie
the
company.
entertainment.
The
so,
entertainment.
The news and sports they kept.
Oh, okay. Okay. So then I'm right in saying I'm skeptical if things come from Fox. I don't know. I think that I will just take my chances. I know that I'm going on a trip very, very, very soon, and it's not the cleanest place in the world, but it's okay. I'll have hand sanitizer, and I'm going to take my chances with the coronavirus. I'm going to stay away from the meth. I strongly suggest that most, if not all, people stay away from the meth at all times, because that's just crazy. So we'll see if this whole meth for the cure of the flu and coronavirus sticks out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna pass though. As I have told you many times, dumb shit is just kind of something that falls into my lap. So literally, I'll be scrolling in bed at 2 a.m. and I'll be like, oh, hey, that should be on dumb shit. Maybe if you think I should refine my methods and you want to help me out here, you can always email the show at officialoglfg@gmail.com. You can send it to the show on Twitter at GiantLeap4Geeks. You can send it directly to me on Twitter at FroggyBeaver. I don't recommend that, but hey, I check it every once in a while. Other than that, stay smart, kids. Don't do drugs.
Well, if you die from a meth overdose, you can catch coronavirus. Math checks out.
So we got our final look at Black Widow.
Yes.
And I don't know about you for sure, but I know, speaking for myself, the idea of a Black Widow movie did not excite me in the beginning. Not
Correct.
because I don't necessarily like that character. I love Scarlett Johansson. I think she's a really great actress. I really have, I can't see anybody else be Natasha Romanoff but her at this point. But...
well, 11 years in, I would think not.
Yeah, but it wasn't a thing of like, oh, I just need a Black Widow movie. I was just like, if we get one, cool. If not, still cool.
Right.
Got the first couple of trailers for this, first couple looks. I was like, okay, it's serviceable. Like,
right.
Nothing about it. I mean, I was excited about the fact that there's going to be a possible Iron Man cameo in this. I was excited about the fact that David Harbour is going to be in this as well as her basically Russian Captain America. And
wouldn't he be Captain Russia?
Well, he has a name, but it's slipping my mind right now.
Captain Russia.
It's not quite that, but something to the effect of that.
Capitan Russian.
Right, comrade.
Yeah, there you go.
But no, so there were things about it that I was like, okay, cool. When we found out Taskmaster, thank you, was going to be the villain, I was like, okay, even more intrigued. I'm like, all right, where are we going with this? But I don't know. There was just something about those first couple trailers where I'm just like, I'm not feeling this.
I didn't feel it either until this one.
Yeah, like this was the first one where I was like, okay, this looks dope.
Yeah.
They did show us more of the like action scenes,
I
so
hope that they
helped.
I hope that they didn't give
give
all
too
of
much
them,
away,
though.
yeah.
I mean, each trailer is released at least a little bit more, and now I kind of feel like I know why she's doing what she's doing, as opposed to...
Yeah, it was a lot more vague before.
Yeah.
Now, we kind of got it all laid out, which is why this is the final trailer as well. They're like, from here till May, this is all you getting.
Which, I mean, that's not that long.
No. But I really, really, really am really like on board with the idea of Taskmaster being the villain in this, and I really hope that he doesn't get killed off. Like, I want to keep Taskmaster around because, I mean, he's basically, they're basically going to be fighting all the Avengers rolled into one character,
right?
And that's dope as hell. I mean, we've already seen him, doing his shit with the shield, doing his little Captain America thing.
Yep.
We've seen him with the bow and arrow doing his Hawkeye thing. Now we got Black Panther's claws and shit, which I don't even know. Okay, look, the claws, sure, I get that. How does he do the flip off of you when he kicks you like Black Panther does? Because he doesn't have the little herb shit that, T'Challa has. So, whatever. Maybe he's just real good at flipping. Who fucking knows? But I was just like, that's a cool-ass villain to have.
Yeah.
To where it'd be like, he can change up his fighting style at any moment.
Like a chameleon.
Yeah. Now, I don't know. Maybe he might pull some shit out of his ass, and he might got some Stark tech or something. Might open his little hoodie up, and the fucking arc reactor is in his chest or something. That'd be dope. But, I mean...
Who knows at this point?
Yeah.
We have to wait a couple months and find out.
Yeah, but it was cool to see that shot where Natasha is falling and Taskmaster's like falling behind her, and then they're like fighting like on debris as it's falling down and tackling each other and shit. I was like, that shit was cool. Again, Natasha's only human, has literally no powers whatsoever. How she does any of this shit without dying, I have no idea, but hey.
She got some of that Fast and the Furious magic.
I guess so. I mean, at least with the other characters, it's like, Iron Man, he's got his tech. Cap, it's super soldier and shit. Spider-Man's got superpowers. She's just there. She's like, I got these guns, bitch.
Tomb Raider didn't need any powers. She just had the guns, too.
True, but Tomb Raider ain't fighting Loki and shit, so
well,
I'm like,
that's true.
Tomb Raider's out raiding tombs. But no, I mean, I do like in this as well too that they're really pressing on the whole like family thing, and we're a unit and coming back together. Like, again, this takes place some point between Infinity War and Endgame, so who knows? Or maybe, I'm sorry, Civil War and Infinity War. At some point between two of the movies, so the status quo will be whatever it is at that point in the movies. Whatever happens in this will probably have some ripple effect to the later movies, but it's not it's going to change anything super drastic because, again, this shit's already happened. We're further than this in the timeline already. But the big red herring I was looking for in watching this trailer, though, was whether or not we would see General Ross as Red Hulk. Still no sign of Red Hulk yet, but I have a real sneaking suspicion that he's gonna be our new Hulk. And
could be.
That would be dope. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They're not gonna show us any of that shit because they're gonna save that for the movie.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
No. My biggest worry though is just that, because to piggyback off what dumb shit was about with coronavirus, is that it's going to hurt the box office for this movie, especially overseas in China.
Yeah.
And people are going to be like, oh, see, look, they made another female-led movie and it failed, and they should never made a Black Widow movie and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, there are extenuating circumstances outside in the real world that we could have never anticipated or planned for. So... And I mean, they're not going to push the movie back until when? It's like, when will we ever know?
There's no way to
like, now
combat
it's safe.
this right now.
So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I am the most excited for this that I have been since we first started seeing stuff about the movie.
Same.
And I really hope it's good because I'm on board now. Fully on board. Yes. Yeah. Like, this might be an opening night kind of thing. Yeah. Because, I mean, it like, it looks cool.
Yeah, it does. If nothing else, it looks...
I'm like, shit, it looks cool.
Looks awesome.
But all right, moving on.
His name is Red Guardian. His name is Red Guardian. His name is Red Guardian. Goddamn.
I've got the magic in me.
You're ripping off the trailer.
Yep. I know. I was just trying to think. I was like, magic. I couldn't.
That's it? All right.
Yeah, because I was trying to think of something about, like, oh, no, you know what I could have did?
What?
Do the stanky leg. Do the stanky leg. Okay. Anyway, if you don't know, we are going to be reviewing Disney Pixar's Onward.
Onward.
Starring Chris Pratt and Tom Holland.
Yes.
And a few other notable actors and actresses as well. So, the premise for this is two teenage elf brothers, Ian and Barley Lightfoot, go on a journey to discover if there's still a little magic left out there in order to spend one last day with their father, who died when they were too young to remember him. Before we get too far into this, normally we do non-spoilers at the front, spoilers at the back, but we're going to go ahead and not spoil this one. It just came out. There's not really a whole lot to spoil.
Not really.
Yeah, but, we will kind of give our general thoughts, and then at the end, we will give our ratings. So, the premise in and of itself, or at least the synopsis, doesn't really do it justice. Basically, the two boys, it's set in a world where there's like elves and magic and goblins and dragons and all kind of shit, but they discovered technology somewhere along the road.
Yes. And
they have become modernized, so it's not too dissimilar from our world. Magic still exists, but it's kind of like rotary phones. Like, no one uses it anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's a thing, but it's like...
Why?
Yeah, it's like, my iPod or my iPad or, my Alexa is so much more convenient. Why do I need to,
Right.
So, it has become kind of out of fashion to do magic anymore. And the boy's father died when they were really young and left them a staff, or wand, I guess, and a phoenix stone.
Mm-hmm.
And it was supposed to have been some kind of spell to bring him back for 24 hours so they would be able to spend time with him. Because he wanted to see what kind of men they grew into.
Right.
And they try to do the spell. Something goes wrong. We only get his lower half.
Which I thought was weird.
Yeah, I know. And then the story proceeds from there, and the mission is to find a new Phoenix Stone, because that one is destroyed when the spell goes wrong, to try and spend whatever remaining time they have left with their father before sundown the next day.
Correct.
Because they only have the 24 hours. What'd you think about the boys?
I think it was kind of neat that we had like this older brother figure, and then this younger brother, and they're kind of polar opposites. Like, the one is afraid of everything, and the other is afraid of nothing. And we find out,
like, almost ignorantly,
not
afraid. like he does some shit throughout the movie where you're like, man, damn well this is not a good idea.
I can't say anything, because if I were to be personified as one of the elves, I would be the fearless one.
Okay.
I'm not really afraid of anything.
Sure.
Snakes and clowns, and I've tackled my fear of clowns and trying to work on snakes. So, other than that, I'm pretty damn fearless.
Sure.
I don't fear a lot of... I don't see the point in being afraid of things.
Agreed.
Especially if they're silly things, like the kid's afraid of merging into traffic, and he's afraid of doing this and doing that. And some of those things, you're like...
Yeah, he's like crippled by fear.
Yeah. And that does remind me of some people.
Yeah. It's a big handicap for him.
It's kind of crazy that two people who live in the same house and have had damn near almost the same experiences, one is so handicapped by this fear and one has no fear.
Yeah. I liked them enough on their own. I think one of the problems I had with the movie was that the characterization of them two, they don't do a whole lot to build them out as characters until like
the very end.
Yeah, pretty much like the last third of the movie. It's like
I noticed that as well.
It's way past the halfway point before they really start like digging into who they are as people.
It was like 59.5 minutes.
Yeah, because the movie's not very long. It's like less than 2 hours. It's like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And so it was about a good 60 to 80 minutes in before they really started getting down to nitty gritty with them. Because that one of the things that I did like, though, about them two as characters was the relationship that they had, where Ian was, he was he was the bitch of the relationship. He was scared. He was
younger.
Yeah, he was very timid, and Barley was much more assertive and fearless and stuff. But I like the fact that they didn't make him like a bully to him,
right?
Because that's what I was worried in the beginning when they first showed them interacting with each other. It's like, oh, he's gonna be like the asshole bigger brother, and
right? He's
gonna pick on him and embarrass him in front of his friends. He does embarrass him, but not because he's mean to him,
right?
But
he had
because
good intentions.
Yeah. His brother is always coming into every situation as a good faith actor. He never comes in like doing something intentionally to fuck shit up,
right?
But it always seems to end up that way.
Well, I mean, when you're 16 and your older brother is kind of a dork,
Oh yeah, because he's all into Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, it's something
he's got, like,
to that
unicorns
effect
and shit spray painted on the van, and oh god,
got his butt crack hanging out. And I mean, I can, as a nerdy kind of older sibling, I can kind of relate to that. A lot,
sure.
Actually,
sure.
And I don't necessarily think that my younger brother is like timid or anything like that, but I do know that I relate to the older character quite a bit. So I can see being that nerdy, God, they're always embarrassing kind of thing, especially to a younger sibling. I can see where that would be an issue.
Yeah, I've put myself in situations like that before, because it's like I didn't grow up with any siblings, so like I can't speak to that on a personal level per se, but I mean, I had cousins and friends and stuff like that. And I mean, we had relationship dynamics similar to that.
Close
as well.
enough.
Yeah. But one of the things with this movie, though, is I'm really kind of disappointed with Pixar. Like, usually they will crank out some real heartfelt, like, powerful stories that, it has a veneer of just like, oh, it's just a family fun little thing, but underneath it's like, it's
like there's a deep-seated message here.
And not to say that this one doesn't. I mean, this one deals with the loss of a parent and siblings trying to learn, how to accept their differences and work together and stuff like that. It has a good message, but I don't know, like, with the setting, with magic and all the other kind of stuff that they were kind of, the ideas they were playing with in this, it just felt like they mishandled this story.
Yeah, I think that there could have been a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, because it's basically just like a road trip movie,
Right.
It's like, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine, but
you see half of a parent.
Yeah,
and
right,
two
right.
brothers, and I mean, yeah, they get into some shenanigans, but it's not anything like.
Especially because they got magic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They could have did some cool, like, again, everything that's worth watching this movie for, character development, story-wise, action, any of that, is in the last, like, 15 minutes.
Right.
All this stuff that they do in that, I'm like, where was this the rest of the movie?
Right.
Like, they did some boss shit. There's, like, dragons and magic and flying and shit. I'm like, this is cool. Where was that the whole rest of the movie? I don't know. Like, it's very, like, just bleh.
Yeah.
Like if you think about movies like Up and Inside Out and shit like
Right.
that, like, those are good movies. Like, good Toy Story, all of them. This is, like, way under par compared to those kind of movies.
I agree.
And I was just like, the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, why do I not like this?
Well, like, think about their whole quest.
Mm-hmm.
They had the opportunity to do some really cool Goonies type shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And with magic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But what did they do? They inflated a Cheeto.
Yep.
And made the dad legs stand on a brick.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was it.
Yeah, I mean, they have some cool visual gags. Like one of the best moments for me is any time that they would take the dad somewhere and they kept just hooking his belt loop to a dog leash and just walking the legs, and they just had like stacked like a coat and shoved it with a bunch of clothes and stuff and put a hat on it, like to give him a torso and stuff. Like anytime they were interacting with the, you know, leg or just the
dad,
the dad legs, I thought that was funny, and they had some cute moments with that. But again, even with that, it was like
more so towards the end.
Well, they kind of like play with the idea of like them communicating with each other through like taps and sounds with his feet and stuff. And I thought they were going to kind of evolve that as the story went on into like a Morse code or something.
That was what I was thinking.
Yeah, but they never do that because they do that, but it never does anything with it. It's just like, well, I mean, yeah, it's cute or whatever, but it's like, I don't know. I just thought that they would had found a way for them to actually be able to communicate with him, because by the end, it's the movie is real bittersweet. Like, I didn't feel like satisfied by the end, especially because of like the barriers between certain people and different things like that, where it's just like, well, they didn't really even get what they wanted out of this, so why am I supposed to be happy at the end? I don't know. Like, and again, I don't hate this movie. I just feel that they could have done more with it.
Yep.
Like, for example, they go to basically like a knockoff Chuck E. Cheese or, you know, Huckleberry Junction. Listeners probably.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even think Huckleberry Junction is a thing outside of Michigan, but.
It's outside of our region.
Right. No, it's like a poor man's Chuck E. Cheese, pretty much. But they go there, and then they meet the Manticore, and it's this whole, you know, thing with her subplot with her, and again, that could have been something cool. There was some funny stuff at the pawn shop. I thought that was kind of fun. It's like, oh, you killed her! Like, no, that shit was hilarious. But I don't know.
I'm with you though. I'm in like.
I did like their mom though.
Yeah, their mom was cool.
Yeah, their mom. She was. I'm a warrior. I was like, oh hell yeah, I like her.
That's the kind of mom I aspire to be.
Right. Me too. I want to say something though. I got a bone to pick with Pixar.
Okay.
I don't know what it is with them, but look. Every time they have a woman character that is like older to some degree, like an adult, you know, not like a teen or something like that.
Okay.
They make them thick as fuck, man.
At least this one was chubby in the middle.
Yeah, man, but I mean, I'm not complaining. I'm like, God damn, man. Between this, the mom from The Incredibles,
Andy's mom.
Yep. I think it's, who is it? Sadness from Inside Out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they be making these. I mean, look, if you've ever played Overwatch, they just make a bunch of Mays. Like, May is the perfect example. Just this short, thick as hell little thing that just runs around, and it's just like, because she ain't human, she's like elf or some shit.
Sure.
But I was just like, God damn, I was like, y'all motherfuckers is gonna make me start masturbating to these Pixar movies. Like, y'all gotta stop this shit. No. but I did think it was funny though. Because that was like, because when she was doing like her little aerobics thing, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, they got another thick ass character in these goddamn movies.
I say, at least this one's chubby in the middle too.
That is true. Yeah, because Mrs. Incredible, she's like a pencil waist and then just ass just out of nowhere, and it's like, all right.
And in this, they showed a pregnancy photo with stretch marks. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, you see a picture of the family before Ian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Before Ian is born, and she is like pregnant out to craziness, and she's got stretch marks. So I thought that was really cool, though.
Yeah. I did think it was odd though that the husband didn't tell her about the fact that he used to be a wizard before.
Yeah, I would think that that's something that comes up on, his deathbed.
Right, she was like, what do you mean he's an accountant? I was like, well, clearly he was living a whole other life that you didn't know about. But the fact that he didn't even like go like, hey, when the boys get a certain age, like I have like a thing and I can come back and see all of you and this, that, and the other. She had no idea. Like, she's like, I don't know what the fuck this shit is. She just said just to give it to you when you turn 16. Right. It was like,
You didn't open it?
Right, like, okay. It was like, damn. It's like, you don't think maybe your wife might have wanted to see you again after you were gone, maybe?
Nope, just
I don't
your
know.
boys.
Yeah, fuck her. Shit. What was, like, one of your least favorite moments in the movie?
The introduction of the centaur cop guy.
Oh, the stepdad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you didn't like him?
I didn't care for him.
Yeah.
Because, like, through this whole movie, he played this role where the kids were more of a burden than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know that not everybody got lucky and got a good stepdad like I have.
Sure.
But, like, that typical, oh, well, these are my wife's kids and they're a pain in the ass and I'm always having to bail them out and do things for them and they don't listen and blah, blah, blah. Like, that gets old.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
I didn't like the introduction of him. Although I did think it was funny every time the mom's phone rang, it would play that.
Bow, 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 bow. Yeah.
Right.
I'm really trying, baby.
So his ringtone was cool, but
Yeah.
I didn't care for him.
Yeah, sexy time. Yeah, I was going to say, well, I did find it funny that, the husband was, an elf, and then he dies and she ends up marrying, like, a centaur.
Uh-huh.
Where he's, like, half man, half horse.
Uh-huh.
And the bottom half is horse. So that means he got horse dick.
Oh, well,
He's like, sorry. He's like, well, no wonder he didn't tell her about that spell of bringing him back. He's like, fuck that bitch. He's like, you don't leave me for this motherfucker. He's like, no, I can't match up to that shit. He literally has a horse's dick. Literally. God damn. That ain't even me just, like, a euphemism. Literally. No, for me, one of my least favorite moments was the whole bike chase with the little fairies, the pixies.
Yeah,
that whole scene. I was like, what is happening? I liked it at first when they first run into him in the gas station because it reminded me of like Gremlins.
Mm-hmm.
Like when they're all like opening up the packages and eating and they're like pouring the slushy and stuff. Like that just even the way like the camera like panned across the store and was showing them all doing it. It reminded me a lot of the Gremlins. But
yeah, I got that too. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but like all the shit with them chasing them and all the back and forth with them, I was just like, man, come on, man, like get this.
It wasn't necessary.
Yeah, it's
sure.
like they needed something to keep moving the story along because that was about the midway point of the movie. But again, I felt like these would have been opportunities to have been developing them as characters or developing a relationship with the legs in whatever way that they could have done that. Because again, Morse code or something would have helped with that, which I thought they were doing. But it's like, no, we just doing some tapping shit. Like, okay.
I think it's weird that the legs. Like, the older brother, he tapped on the foot. Mm-hmm. So they did the little Captain Kangaroo thing. Uh-huh. And then, like, the foot would feel around. Mm-hmm. And that was it. There was no, once he became, a full person, hey, thanks for the ride, or this was a great adventure, or, his legs had no mental awareness, which I guess I don't think that they would. But this being a magic based,
sure, right. It's like the fact that he didn't have a brain shouldn't matter,
right. It's a cartoon.
Because they were trying to say like, oh, what is he doing? Like he's dancing, like, oh, he can feel the vibrations of the music. I was like, well, can't he hear it though too? Because you've been talking to him this whole time, right? So it's like, I know his upper half isn't there, but it's magic. None of this should make sense. So it's like
that's kind of the one
he
thing.
He shouldn't need to have ears to hear you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of the one thing I was hoping that the legs would have taken on more of a character personality. Like
the thing from like the Addams Family.
Right.
Like he can't talk, but they find ways to communicate back and forth.
Morse
and shit.
code and tapping and.
Like I thought even at some point when he was like, feeling around like with his feet trying to like around the room, I thought he was trying to find like a piece of paper and a pencil or something.
Sure.
He was gonna like write some shit out or something, or like point to something with his feet.
Right.
But no, he never does that. He's just, it's like
that would have been cool.
Yeah, I know.
I really
it's
think
almost
that
like
that was
Weekend at Bernie's.
Yeah.
It's like he's dead. And they're just like dragging his corpse around the whole
Right.
movie. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't do anything to help move the story along.
Nope, he doesn't
here
say
and there.
anything.
But yeah, but it's like he's just a prop. He doesn't have any agency or anything. So it's like,
even in Aladdin, they had the magic carpet, and he had more personality than these legs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Carpet would tell you things, and Carpet didn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
So
Carpet didn't have ears neither.
No,
so.
Carpet didn't have ears. Carpet didn't have nothing. He had these little tassels, and he was animated. I think that they could have done a better job. The dancing scene was cool when the kids dance with them and whatever, but I just think that if they could have like incorporated that at the end, where they were like, "Hey, thanks for the good adventure," or I just think that there could have been more.
Yeah, and as well too, about the ending, I like I said, I thought it was bittersweet, and then when they finally do explain, everything that happened, everything that was said, even then I was just like, that felt empty. I was just like, I'm not satisfied by this at all.
Nope.
And maybe that was the point. Maybe it was about accepting, loss and not necessarily getting everything you want, and just having to learn how to be happy with what you have and appreciating what's in front of you kind of thing. Because, that is a big part of the ending is like, hey, like, our relationship is better.
Anyways,
and right. So it's like, sure, that's fine, but it still didn't feel satisfying. And I'm like, man, like, I don't know. Like, I just needed something. All in all, just to wrap this thing up, like, it is not the worst Pixar movie, but it is definitely towards the bottom for me.
Yeah, it was all right.
I mean, even from the trailers, there was nothing. I mean, the best like thing that came out of even the trailers even was just the fucking unicorns acting like raccoons and shit, eating out of the trash and having to run them off. Like, that was funny, but I mean, yeah, the movie and it's a shame too, because they had Chris Pratt and Tom Holland and a bunch of other comedic actors in this, and I'm like, this could have been gold.
Yep.
And they don't do
Could have been funny.
Shit with this, man. I know there's a couple jokes that I did laugh out loud at, but it's not enough.
Right,
like,
not to the extent of the talent that they
no,
had.
Yeah, exactly. And then the frequency of jokes was very far and few in between. Like, it was rare that I laughed at something within a few minutes of each other.
Right,
it would be like a long gap before I was like, oh yeah, that was funny. Because a lot of it was just like, we're just kind of going through the motions.
Right.
So, I mean, again, it's not the worst thing ever, but I was let down. So, we're going to go ahead and give our ratings. We do a 5-tier rating system here. It goes really fucking liked it, meh, hated it, and really fucking hated it. So, DJ Melly Mel, what would you give Onward?
I'm going to give it probably my steak rating. It's not quite I liked it, but it's not quite a meh.
Okay.
So, I mean,
somewhere in there?
Somewhere in between the two. The visuals were, it was animated, so
it did look nice.
As to be expected.
Sure.
I like the colors, some of the jokes, but not enough to bring it to a meh, but not enough to put it at a liked it, I guess. Can I do that?
That's fair. That's fair. I'll accept that. I'm gonna go meh.
Meh.
I
think the only thing that really kept it from meh was when the brother encouraged him to walk across the canyon.
Yeah, I did like that scene. That was
probably what bumped it from a meh.
Okay.
Because that was cool.
Or put it in between a meh and
put it at the steak rating.
Yeah, okay. I mean, mine are probably for similar reasons as yours. Just I'm more so leaning into the meh because there was potential to do something really cool there because they had magic and stuff like that, and they didn't do anything with it. And especially too, like, I would have expected a movie like this coming from the people who make like the Despicable Me movies or something like that.
Sure.
But I'm like, they have a good track record, for not only entertaining movies, but movies that are about something and that really tug at the heartstrings. Maybe it could be because I didn't have siblings growing up. I don't quite relate to this as some other people may. But in my mind, this was kind of dropping the ball, like, quite a bit.
I do have siblings, and I am in that role of the older sibling.
Sure.
I'm goofy and dorky and
sure,
not afraid of things, and it still kind of dropped the ball for me, even though I could relate to it.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's it. I think maybe it is. I don't know. I think we're both kind of hovering, about that mediocre.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and I mean, no offense to the people who worked on this or anything like that.
Right,
I mean, I'm sure, they poured their heart and souls into it. I just don't think it was distilled out properly into its final form because it left me feeling kind of empty by the end.
Right.
So take from that what you will. Go check it out if you haven't already. If not, I mean, go in with caution. Just saying. But that is going to be it for the show. Remember, you can always find us at our home, onegiantleapforgeeks.libsyn.com, or we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, really anywhere else you get your podcasts. Make sure to show us some love, so go ahead and hit that like, subscribe, give us a rating, review us, follow us, and all that shit.
And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, criticisms, or you just want to say hi, you can find us via email at officialoglfg@gmail.com. You can also find us on Twitter at giantleap4geeks. We are on Facebook, Reddit, Instagram. Check out T-Money's Facebook and Instagram page. His Facebook is TEEBUDS, and on Instagram and Twitter it is T-Buds Cajun Cuisine. And Cajun is CAJUNCUISINE. Come check us out this weekend. Definitely you will leave full and with a smile. All right. You guys have a good night. Bye.